Hey, it's me, WWE Hall of Famer from the LOD, Road Warrior Animal. And who are you?
Yeah, I gotta do this when? Now? I'm watching a match. What is now? Now is, oh, now. Yeah, thanks. Hey, this is the Pharaoh from Monte and the Pharaoh. I just want to say thank you to our subscribers as we now have hit the 10,000 plateau. Thank you to all our subscribers out there. But I'm going to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged YouTube Monte and the Pharaoh member. Yes, that's right, folks. You can check it out. We've got 3 different levels. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. There's all sorts of perks for our members. There is nothing more we enjoy than giving you this program. And to do that, we need your support, and we appreciate your support. This is Jimmy Pharaoh, and don't forget to check out Monte and the Pharaoh every Thursday from Indie Music TV and on Cablevision here locally in New York. Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh. Later. Is that good enough for you? Can I finish this? Lesnar's killing him. I'm pissed.
All right, welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, straight out of Indie Music TV, here out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island, on a special Saturday show. At the board, as always, the super producer, Matthew Ice. Matty, how are you, buddy?
What up, what up?
How you doing on this Saturday night, big man?
I'm doing great. It was an excellent day.
Yeah? What'd you get going? What happened? Anything good?
Well, our driveway got finished. We got nice bricks.
That sounds
and
exciting.
Wow,
chilling
man.
in the
Bone
backyard
chilling.
on our new bricks.
Bone chilling.
Nice.
I mean, what's
Okay.
next? The name of the guys that came to do it? Did you get them lunch? I mean, what else you got for us, Matty?
Bro, you know, I
We got
gotta
him
tell
another
you,
job, actually.
it doesn't take much to get you excited.
Yeah, no, it's
Wait, so
it's good to be happy.
It is good to be
happened
happy. I gotta
after
give you that.
What happened after the driveway? Anything else exciting?
Listen, dude, he's got something better than us. At least he's not the two miserable fucks like you and me, right?
Yeah,
So,
well, you know, enough with facts. What else you got?
to the right is the star of the
Where?
show,
Where?
Mr. Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, how are you, buddy?
Just Ducky. How are
Welcome on our Saturday special show
Yeah.
with 2 great guests. We'll announce the first guest in a minute.
you?
But
Yes,
first,
sir. Yes, sir.
with COVID-19 going crazy, the deeper issue in the world is over 100,000 children could face extreme starvation in Ethiopia. The United Nations is warning that the worsening of humanitarian catastrophe in Ethiopia for more than 100,000 children. Thoughts on that? Want to get deep before we have some fun?
Do
Or
I
what?
have to? That's
Sure, why not?
That's horrendously depressing. I mean, what am I going to do now? Start pointing out the obvious that the human race sometimes they mean well, but man, oh man, how can we take our eyes off the road like that? What's going on? 100,000 children. So what are the countries doing? Is anybody doing anything about it, or are we just sitting here reading it, going, "Gee, that's a shame"?
I think what we have a huge problem in the world, not only this country. I think we don't get involved in some of the good stuff that needs to get done, and we get involved in all the minutia that goes on in the world.
Yeah.
And when when you losing human lives to the hundreds of thousands, right? Mm-hmm. And when there's another agenda going on with COVID-19, as you well know as I do, and we'll get something from our guest and see what she's got to say about it.
Sure. Sadly,
Again, we're not judging.
Sadly enough, though, history repeats itself. It seems like many times in history when there's a catastrophe, it really takes a long time for the right parties to fix that catastrophe, whether it was things that led to the wars in the past or the famines. And Man, oh man, you think we would have learned a little bit better by now. Well, now that I want to go walk into traffic, what else you got there, Mike?
What do I got?
What do you got?
All right, well, since
Lay it on
you
me.
didn't want to go too deep, Pharaoh, people are asking you, where is the wig?
Oh, the wig. Where is the wig? I thought the one was being sent to us, complimentaries of that guy.
Has not arrived.
It hasn't arrived?
Has not arrived. Anyway, I want to get to a special guest. So
Sorry,
I'd like
guys.
to thank the band that sings the theme song for
that?
Monte and the Pharaoh, own Jimmy Pharaoh, along with his partner. Bart Griggs are part of the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. And you can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Please hit the like and subscribe button.
Thank you.
Catch them on Spotify, iTunes. Well, it's not iTunes anymore. It's Apple Music, whatever the hell you want to
Okay.
call it. And
Gotcha.
Reverb Nation. If you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh, only seen here on YouTube. Monte and the Pharaoh page, Facebook Live, Monte and the Pharaoh page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, Monte and the Pharaoh page. Channel 115, if you get New York cable, every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30, you will see our guest, Marisa Jade, in the condensed version.
Nice. Look
Nice.
at you. You
I'm
got the
getting good at that,
terminology
right?
nailed now. Good man.
Eventually, this
I'm proud of
monkey
you.
gets it, right? You hit him
This
over the head a few
monkey.
times, he gets it right. Early risers
Oh,
at
boy.
6 a.m. to 6:30 on Saturday on Channel 115. So if you get up early, get your coffee, you get to hang out with M&P along with Marisa Jade,
That's
right?
become Pharaoh time. Pharaoh time used to be the normal Pharaoh time in the middle of the night. Now that's Pharaoh time, 6 o'clock in the morning.
And then for Channel 20 from 2 a.m. to 2:30, that's for all the crackheads that come home from the bar at night and they gotta.
I just said
they
I
gotta-
like that type. The crackheads. I'm not a crackhead.
All right, you know what? That's right. I'm sorry.
So mean. Next.
All right. After this commercial break, we'll get right back with supermodel, reality star, mom, actor, and she recently cured the world of all famine and disease.
She did?
Marisa Jade. We'll be back in a minute.
See you in a sec. That's right, folks. Canine Corral. For all your dog daycare and overnight care, call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV out of Long Island, New York. A special Saturday show. So welcome, Marisa Jade. Thank you for joining us. So our honor for you to come here.
I'm
Thank
clapping.
you so much for having me.
How's everything going?
Everything's great.
I got to tell you, a little intimidated that you're here.
A little.
You're about half my age.
What?
But I've seen you on TV, and you could kick the shit out of any man I've ever met in my life.
I'm glad you know.
Okay, proceed with caution. Right away, partner.
So you over at Wrestling Universe in Queens. That's a pretty famous pro wrestling store.
Yeah.
How was it?
I had a great time. It was great meeting everybody. Definitely saw a couple of familiar faces that I've seen at other signings. And we had fun.
What is it like for someone like yourself and having these people coming in to see you and they want pictures with you and autographs? How does that make you feel?
I mean, it makes me happy. It makes me happy that I can make others happy. I've been doing this for quite some time, even before I even ever entered the reality world. I was made into a comic book character. So I used to do a lot of shows and cons promoting the comic book. So I've been in this world, I want to say a good 10 years. And then reality hit, and I just started going in for everything, really.
So when fans meet you, though, did you ever get any fans that just like break down crying that they're so excited? to
I've
be
had
your
a couple.
presence?
I
What's
get
that feel like?
Aw, I love love. So, you know, you can tell how genuine and warm-hearted these people are, you know. And I've had a couple of criers. I've had a couple of very like intimidated or timid fans, but I make them feel comfortable. You know, I'm a people person, so what you see or what you think you see is not what you get to some degree. I'm actually really nice. I'm not going to bite your head off unless you provoke it. You know,
Super
and
careful. Sure.
and these fans, they have all good intentions. So
How about the other side of the spectrum? Have you ever had to deal with a lunatic? I would think so, somewhere along the line.
I've had a couple that I've seen that have come to me, let's say 10 times within one show, just to give me a hug.
10 hugs?
Like, just to hold me tight and or like kiss my cheek
Oh.
or not let go.
Oh.
But like I said, it's genuine. They really don't mean any harm.
Right.
And I think because I've been around it for so long, like the first time I did it, it was definitely a shell shock. But after that, you realize, you know, we're all human and they mean well. So
Were you comfortable at first as you started to?
when I first did it, I was like, whoa, like this is something, you know, especially because a lot of the beginning shows that I did were horror based or I saw the wrestling fans. I did a lot of wrestling shows. Like they're diehard fans, you know. So yeah, in the beginning, I was like, all right, this is much because they crowd, they herd, you know. But I mean, it's all fun.
You a big fan of horror yourself, or?
Not at all. Not in the
Really?
slightest. So when I'm seeing these people walk around with like fake machetes and or blood or vampire fangs, like I had a couple people make me vampire fangs. I still have them.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I get
What do
scared.
they come to you with a gift like, oh, hey, I made
No,
you this
they were-
vampire fang?
No, they would actually be
fucking
at
weird.
the cons, and I guess maybe some of them would make them on spot for
Okay.
whoever they're selling to. So they would come to me for like promo, you know, I'll make you some fangs, take a
Here's a
picture.
little fang.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute, what they do? Make you bite down on a plate and come back
Yes,
20 minutes later?
yes.
Like, baked it in an oven?
Seriously, they did,
God.
and they literally like hand file those things. It's crazy. I have
You ever
them.
have any like grown 50-year-old man cry in your presence?
What?
Not 50.
You're
younger.
about to. You're about to.
Hasn't, just wanted to ask me out to dinner, you know, stuff like that. But it
So
was the younger crowd.
obviously you're in relationships and stuff. How do your other halves like
Yeah.
react to this? Like this is like what's
How can
that
they
all
even
about?
sleep at night, to be very honest? I mean, my God.
I have to say, some of them don't take it well.
I wouldn't
Some
think
of them
so.
don't take it well.
Right.
Like what do they say to you? Like you got to stop doing this. I don't like
What,
it.
getting
Or,
up in the morning? There's nothing. What is she supposed to
I'm
do?
dealing with like Italian New York men, so
man.
you can only
you doing?
imagine how it is. It's like
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's like an episode out of Sopranos. Only
nice.
I'm Tony.
Nice.
You know,
Oh, you're the
so,
Tony.
So there's only. Don't get me wrong. I dig
Nice.
Tonys, but I'm a Tony too. So
okay.
you can't tell me to do something.
Okay.
It's not going to work.
Wow.
I do what I want out of respect, not because I'm told to do so. It
Right.
doesn't work that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. We were talking some baseball, slash softball before we got on the air, and this is like such a simple way of saying this, but you're big into the Yankees, huh?
Very much so.
How many years you been watching them? Like since you were born, basically?
I mean,
or-
I love the era of Jeter. You know,
Was he your favorite from that team, or 'cause mine was O'Neal
no,
because
Bernie
of the temper.
Williams was my favorite,
Williams.
but because I was a center fielder.
Okay.
I pitched and I was a center fielder. I was
Okay.
very big into sports growing up. Totally loved baseball, softball. But yeah, that was my era.
Did you try the switch hitting thing? Because Bernie was a switch hitter.
I'm a lefty,
Okay.
but I bat righty.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
I've never bat lefty ever.
So
you got there,
you're
Mikey?
Chinese and Italian,
I am.
which I find totally amazing. So tell me about your parents.
So I'm second generation. So my mother and her brothers and sister actually were born in New York, from the city to Staten Island. So by the time I was born, I was in Staten Island. My father, I believe, is second generation as well. He's a Brooklyn boy. Every Asian in my family married Italians.
Wow.
So there's like 9 of us that were Chinese and Italian. So I always grew up where people were like, oh, you're so exotic, you're so different. But to me, I didn't feel that way because I grew up around the same, you know? As I got older, I realized, oh, okay, I am a little different, or, you know? But every Italian marries something. So I feel like everyone in New York's like half and half.
Mike, I got to tell you though, if this is what happens when the Chinese and the Italians get together, they should definitely be working on international relationships.
We better get along. Let's all get
You
along.
married, you're gonna have
And
a
multiply
beautiful
fruitfully
child.
as many as possible. Oh my God!
Trump was wrong.
Please let those nations get together
Let me ask you,
frequently.
in high
Anyway.
school, what was it like growing up in high school? Obviously, very attractive young lady, athletic.
I definitely had to be tough. I mean, a lot of people, I think growing up in your teenage years, period, it's stressful. You know, everyone wants to, who's tougher, who's smarter, who's got more strength.
Were
who
you a
can-
tomboy?
I guess I was a tomboy,
so
but I was
cool.
like a pretty tomboy. I
Well,
was just, I was like one of the
yeah.
guys, but I didn't look like one of the guys, you
Right,
know?
sure.
So I'm deceiving because people think, oh, she's this pretty little girl, she can't throw hands or she's not tough.
Right.
But
Then they're picking up their teeth.
yeah, basically.
Right. Yeah, well,
you know,
that'll
I
learn
mean,
them.
Well, you missed it when she said she can't throw hands. She's ready to kick some ass, dude.
He's
told
right
you,
here.
be
New York
scared.
Only
Italian.
if I have to.
He's right
I'm
here.
too
Only if I
old.
have
Go get
to.
him.
Please don't embarrass
Pick
her.
on the bigger one. Oh my
Tell
God.
us about your son.
My son is 13 now, believe it or not. I had him young. I thought I can do everything all at once, meaning have a career, have my own place, and raise a child all at the same time. And I did.
Wow.
I did. I won't advise people to do it because I believe you should set yourself up first, have a career, get married, do it all correctly. But I didn't. But I made it work, and honestly, I'm happy I had him.
Well, how did you feel about mom?
He's my strength. You
Yeah.
know, he actually put me on the right track. I was very advanced at a young age. I was doing things 40-year-olds wish they could have done at 14, believe it or not. From
Right.
vacations to dining to the jewelry to just making money. I was, even my parents were like, she don't even ask me for $1. What is she doing? So I just started really young. By the time I was legal, I was like over it because I was always the young girl hanging out with the older crowd, So by the time I was 22, it was like, I'm done with this, and I got pregnant and had a baby.
Has your son, I know he's young, of course, but has he asked about, what do you think he wants to do in the future? Has he asked you anything about, possibly getting into entertainment like mom? And would you be encouraged or discouraged, like, I don't, you don't want to get into this
No,
business?
to be honest with you, he's a ball player, and I want him to go pro, and I want him to focus on nothing but academics and his sports. And I hope
And
to be sitting one day in the front row watching him as a Yankee. I
Right,
would love
and the Mets
nothing
don't
more
stand
than
a
that.
chance to sign this kid.
No.
There
There's-
we go.
There's no.
There we go.
Would you disown him if he wanted to be
Would
a Met?
you please?
Would you be like, that's it? You're out of the
No,
family?
I won't disown him because at the end of the day, it's pay and you're
He's a
doing
pro
what you
ball-
love.
Yeah, he's a pro ball player.
But
Don't play for the Mets, though. That doesn't work.
I know.
Yeah.
Come on, you already know. When you're
Give
a
the kid a
Yankee
break,
fan, you're not
will
a
you?
Met
Holy
fan.
What?
Wow.
Met stands for my entire team sucks. What are you talking about? No.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll give them props right now.
You
They're
better.
doing good. They've been doing
Absolutely.
good.
I was just
and I
having fun
have to
with them,
say,
but yeah.
Yankees.
Oh, please.
They lost all my faves.
Yeah.
This is a young group.
Yep.
It's a different world right now
Yeah, I'm
for
not
our
liking
team.
the.
You know.
I'm not liking
They're
the
only
current
7.5
Yankees. I'm not-
out. It's okay.
I am
It's
not
okay.
thrilled with this team at all.
It's okay.
They
Yeah,
feel limp.
I don't want to, put
Yeah.
the bad juju out there or talk
What-
shit.
what-
but
what-
guys, come on, you got to do better.
Yeah.
What pro baseball team do they have in Staten Island?
They had the Staten Island Yankees. They took them, didn't they?
Where are they now?
I think that
I thought
they
they-
relocated them. They moved them away.
Really? But
It's
we have
horrible.
that stadium and everything
That's
on Bay
right.
Street.
That's right. They have moved them away. Yeah, they took them
Honestly,
away.
ever since COVID, I've been in my own world. I don't know what's going on in the world.
See, you were born and raised in Staten Island, right?
I was.
You don't want to ever leave?
I'm actually there because of my son. My son,
Okay.
has an amazing social life. He's got his friends. He's got school. You know what it is. If you were 13 or even 8, would you want to be taken from your childhood and all you know to be thrown somewhere else?
Yeah.
It's not, I thought of him. I actually put my life
That's
on
rough.
hold.
Good thinking.
I put my life on hold. Listen, I didn't even like it when my mother put me in a private school junior year and all my friends went to public, and that was just a town over.
Right.
I couldn't do that to my child,
Yeah.
I even moved out of the town that we were in and I still put him in the junior high over there because that's what he wanted to do. And you want to have those memories as a child.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to take that away from them. So I mean, I even put my relationship on hold and marriage and everything because I opted to stay on this island, and I'm not going to leave it until my son's off to college.
And you're giving them stability.
Yeah, I want to buy him a house. I want to set him up there. I mean, regardless, I
awesome.
work back and forth certain places. I'll always come back. Staten Island will always be home. You know, I love Staten Island. I feel like you raise a well-rounded child, street smart, book smart.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
it's a good upbringing out there. So I don't want to take him away from that at all.
Do you want to have any more children?
The way the world's going, no, I don't. And I've been thinking about that for quite some time. I mean, I would have loved to have had another child years ago if things were right. And so, like I said, I had my child and I didn't do the right thing, as in being in a relationship for a while, getting engaged or married. I, unfortunately realized when I was pregnant that that was a man that I didn't want to be with for life. So I kind of stuck it out for 7 years, to be quite honest, but more so for my child and him, not for me.
Sure.
And then one day I just woke up like, this is my life and I live it once, and I want to be happy. So I transitioned. It wasn't an easy transition, but I did. And I always said that if I were to have another child, I would do it right. But a lot of things in my life happened and took place, and it didn't work out, and I was very hesitant on the child. And then now the world's basically sealing the deal because it's just turned into complete mayhem.
Yep.
And I don't know if I want to raise an innocent being in this world.
Yep.
I mean, I grew up with morale and a certain way of life, and life has changed dramatically, and although it changed, I would still raise my child in the same sense that I was raised. But I think it's very hard to keep certain virtues, in the household, and they're being subject to things that are morally wrong in the
And
world.
a lot of it's out of the parents' control.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm so happy I had my child when I did, because he same virtues as us, the way we were raised. He's, good head on his shoulders.
Awesome. Yeah.
Society has not punctured or ruined him at all. And, he's got good parents. My son has great parents, and we taught him. He's raised the way we were.
So dad's still in his life?
Oh, of course.
That's
yes,
great.
very much so.
Nice. And at least you had a child. I've been raising myself poorly for 54 years. Look at this. Look at this. What a mess. Why don't we switch on over to one of my favorite... What? Why don't we switch on over to one of my favorite things? You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about mob movies. That's what I'm talking about, like The Sopranos. I love The Sopranos with Paulie. But I got to ask you, how'd you get hooked up with mob wives?
Okay, so after my son's father, I started dating somebody that I used to talk to years prior.
Okay.
He actually was in jail for 4 years, but he kept in touch with me, and then when he got out, I guess he was still trying to pursue me. And then he just, right place, right timing. And my son's father wasn't that easy to deal with, so he kept pushing me into a corner in search for I guess safety in some sense.
Okay.
So every man I date is very aggressive and intense and tough, and of course I liked the man that I was with at that moment, but I also felt safe because he was protecting me from him. So with that said, I was with him. I got very close with his cousin's wife. We hung out all the time, and she was very close she grew up with the girls on the show, with the girl who created the show, and we were going for a walk one day, and she was just like, what show you would be great on? And I was like, what, Mob Wives? And she's like, yep. And as she's saying it, she's messaging the creator, I got someone perfect for you. And then right away...
Who's this, Karen?
No. The creator's actually Jen,
Okay.
Renee's sister.
Gotcha.
And Jen was like, who, Marissa? So she was like, yeah. So she's like, all right, let's set up a meeting and we'll go from there. So we set up a meeting, I want to say a few days later, if that. They were like, okay, you're going to start filming next week. I guess they were trying to try me out. My first scene was with Karen and Renee. And I just hit it off and just, I'm very comfortable in my surroundings.
So you actually didn't know them then?
No, not at all.
Not at
But I'm
all,
also
okay.
not a timid girl. So when I sat down, the way I'm talking to you guys is the same way I was speaking to them. And I think they were just like, all right, we're filming in oh my God, why am I blanking? Where does everyone go? Oh, in the Hamptons.
Okay.
We're filming in the Hamptons next week. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I went, and next thing you know, I just started filming the show.
So at that point, though, you're doing modeling already, right?
Yes, I was already modeling.
So did you already have an agent and a lawyer? Like when that call gets made,
Yeah,
you have to go run and get a
I
lawyer
had
to
an
negotiate
entertainment
for
lawyer
you?
already on hand.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, good.
So even though you already know, like when you do these shows, you know, the stipulations, the things you can't do, blah, 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 but like the show didn't make me. I've already been dabbling in this industry.
Yeah, right.
You know, so there was we went back and forth for a long time with that paperwork because it was like, you're not going to stop me from doing this or modeling that or making money here because I've already been making that money. So there were times even during filming that there was 1 week actually where I didn't film with them because I was working and doing other things. For the most part, most girls wouldn't have been able to do that.
What was your gut read when you're taking that walk and she goes, you know what show you would be good on? Like, did you get a little butterfly or something to like indicate, I think something might have changed for me just now?
No, because I just kind of knew like it was meant.
Right.
You know, and it just happened. Totally a believer in destiny. So like, I don't know. I always said it, even though I wasn't, not saying I wasn't a fan of the show. I just never watched the show. I really wasn't much into reality because I'm super busy. I'm always out doing something. I'm always on some casting or making money, and I was never really glued into reality when reality was really huge. But I always said in the back of my mind, I was like, I would be perfect on that show. It's so me, and it happened. So
And there it is.
It was a perfect match.
Yeah.
With that, we'll be right back after this commercial break with actor Marisa Jade.
We shall return.
The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Hi, it's John from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Pharaoh.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn.
Jimmy, I just got the best hookup on tickets.
Fill me in.
I went to www.seatslinks.com and ordered the best tickets with the best prices.
Call 718-676-0504. SeatsLink, the complete ticket experience.
Tell them Charles sent you. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh, seen only here out of Indie Music TV, straight out of Long Island, New York.
Yeah, that's where
We're
we are.
back with reality star Marisa Jade. Marisa, we got a fan out there that said, Monte and the Pharaoh show never looked so good. Well, thank you for
thank
that.
you.
I got that's from Loose Cannon. Thank you, Loose. We can't agree more. I mean, my God. I don't know. It's
What,
Thank you,
definitely an
Cannon.
uplift
I'm
from
not looking-
Tommy Rich.
I'm not looking hot tonight? What's the problem?
Listen, this is an upgrade from Tommy Rich and Tony
Tommy
Atlas. For
Rich!
sure. That's
oh
for
my
sure.
God, please. What else we got here?
You're on, man.
Am I on? I thought, well, yeah, I guess I am on. Okay, fine. Oh, wait a minute. How am I supposed to? He gives me these questions, and it's just so embarrassing. Okay, clearly you are a beautiful, intelligent woman. That's what it says for me to say right
Okay.
here, even though it's the truth, but it still feels weird. What does Marisa Jade look for in a man?
Authenticity, strength, loyalty, passion, and consistency.
Wow. Well, that
But
eliminates me.
they don't have
Just kidding.
How about looks wise? What do they have to look like looks?
I guess looks, it's not that you have, it's what you're attracted to. You know, I can't say, maybe I do have a type, but sometimes my type is not always the same, but they have the same strength. That's where I go with strength and consistency. You know, if you're comfortable in your skin, if you have this pizzazz and charisma, if you have this confidence about you, like a very alpha male,
How about physical
attracted
attraction?
to.
Though? Like, is physical attraction the first thing that you look for? Is it when you
Yeah,
look at personality?
naturally you're going to gravitate towards what you're attracted to.
Right.
But I've been attracted to green eyes. I've been attracted to blue eyes. I've been attracted to brown eyes.
Right.
I've been attracted to 6-foot, exotic looking men. I've been attracted to 5'10" bodybuilder, Hulk looking men.
Right.
At the end of the day, though, what they all have in common is strength and this alpha way about them.
But you're an alpha.
I'm very much an alpha, but I want my man to be more.
So you want an alpha man then.
Of
You
course.
wouldn't want a
Listen,
a
at the
guy
end
that
of the day, and
Yeah.
I will say this as a strong, independent woman, a woman should be able to look up to a man, be comfortable with her man, be able to be protected by her man. And women should let men be men. Okay?
Wow.
And I'm
gonna
sorry,
faint.
like I want
You're right.
it's true. Like, why are we trying to take their roles? We don't need to take their roles. We have roles, and
So
men have roles.
How does
I
that?
grew up in a household where my father told my mother, "You don't work. I take care of you."
Right.
And I believe like men should open doors. Men should pay bills. Not saying, listen, I'll pick up a tab, but I'll pick up a tab for your birthday, or I'll buy us a flight and take you on a vacation, or I'm amazing with gifts, But other than that, a man's supposed to play a man and a woman's supposed to play a woman. I don't think it's wrong if a woman took care of her man, or cooked for her man, or did his laundry, or gave him like a back rub if he asked. But I also believe a man should take care of a woman in some sense too.
So let me ask you this then, right? You're an actor. We all know about Harvey Weinstein, right? I'm trying to say this correctly.
Oh, just
but
say it. She can handle
Say
it.
it correctly, because I'm pretty sure my answer is not going to be loved by everybody.
But so
proceed.
here's a guy who took his position of power, who wanted to be with beautiful women, and he didn't rape them. Let's make that
I
clear.
agree with it.
All right.
I agree with
And
it.
he basically said, "Hey, you want to make it? You got to make it." That's like an alpha male.
Listen,
What are your thoughts on that?
Harvey is an alpha male, and I'm going to say something that most people might not like, but I don't give a shit.
Good.
Because at the end, and I've been propositioned, we've all been propositioned.
I'm sure you've been
In some
propositioned a
sense,
million times.
Listen, I'm pretty sure men maybe do more with women but don't act like women are innocent, because there are women who take
Yes.
their power and
Absolutely.
do the same.
Yeah.
But with
Oh,
that
yeah.
said, if someone really was hurt in a situation, I feel for them. I have compassion for the situation, but you should have said something. I don't believe half the stories that I've heard. These women were in such die-hard positions that they couldn't fend for themselves or speak up about it or get some listen, all you had to do was say no. But what you chose to do was take the bait so you can get further. So if you did that
Right.
knowing that you were gaining
Right.
something, you weren't being abused. You were okay with the situation. So don't come out 20 years later for your 15 seconds trying to act like what happened to you was detrimental, because you put yourself in that position. Now, if you were held down, like I've had people try to really aggressively take me.
Yes.
And in that instance, I fought back.
Right.
And I'm
Which
fine.
is-
And I never cried about it. I
Right.
never called the cops on it. I never went to,
Well, you're a strong woman, right? Look, me personally, I would say that a man should never physically try to
100%.
make away with
And
any
even then,
woman
that
or
didn't-
another, right? But to proposition a woman, and I'm not defending Harvey Weinstein, right? Because he kind of did.
Yes, I'm
use
not
his-
either.
Right.
Listen, at the end
he
of the
did
day,
use his power to like say, "Hey,
he
you're either
abused the
gonna do it
privilege.
with me or you're going nowhere,"
he
and that's
abused the
kind of
privilege. But
fucked
these
up.
women could have had some morale and said, you know what? I'm not going to take the bait.
Right,
yeah.
I'm going to walk away.
right,
I'm not going to sell my soul to the devil.
right.
So you chose what you chose to do. Don't cry about it like you didn't have a choice.
So going to your second half, like the second half men you've had, and like something like that would happen to you, did you dare ever tell them?
In certain instances, I was single at those times.
Okay. Which is probably better, right?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I've reached out to like a couple of my guy friends, like,
Yeah.
yo, like, what do you want to do? You going to go beat him the fuck up, you know?
Right.
But other than that, I mean, yeah.
So back to Mob Wise, Big Ange, you didn't know her. right? But you eventually got to know her.
Yeah,
I'm
I got to
assuming.
know her well on the show.
How did you handle her passing?
Her? Listen, anybody passing, especially in that way, is unfortunate. I felt horrible. In fact, I remember, she went into remission. Everything was fine, and she was great. And then all of a sudden, it came back with a vengeance. And I remember texting her, like, you know what, like, anything you need, I'm here for you. And she was like, thank you, love you, miss you, whatever. And then next thing you know, it happened. It was just horrible. Anybody going through that, it's horrible. I don't like death, but I understand it.
Did she go fast, or was it?
I think she did. Yeah. When it came back, it was fast.
Did you go to her funeral?
Yes, I did. I did. It is. It's sad.
Wow.
God bless her.
Wow. All right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You
So
got it.
let me ask you this. We were talking before the show, and again, I loved Mob Wives. I loved you in X on the Beach. I loved all that stuff. I thought, like, we're wrestling fans, right? We have a wrestling show.
We are.
So it's all this,
yeah.
it's all this shit, right?
Yeah.
But, and I asked you, is your heat with these women, especially on Mob Wives, was that real? Was that all genuine, like with Drita?
I have to say, every show that I've ever done, if you saw any type of quarreling or beef, it was 100% authentic. There's definitely nothing staged on my end. I can't vouch for every reality show out there because I'm pretty sure every reality show doesn't have intense women like us on Mob Wives.
Yeah.
But so maybe they had to stir some things up. But no, for sure, we were authentic. Every argument, every fight was authentic.
So when you got in that fight with Brittany,
that was real. The punch was real.
and she hit you for real.
She hit me.
Wait, I thought she hit you and then you hit her
better
back.
get the facts straight. She's gonna
She
hit
couldn't
you.
get a fist up to hit me. Popped her.
So let me ask you, when you walked out of that limo, I think you guys were in the Hamptons, right?
Okay,
did they
so-
make you wear that outfit, or were
No,
you
I
like?
chose to. Okay, so how it worked was the girl already pissed me off prior because a lot of stuff went on behind scenes, and I guess she was getting amped or pushed to like be a little tough on screen with me. Maybe they were
boy.
trying to test me. So that's why she came the way she did, but she also doesn't know who I am.
Right.
But I told production, I was like, I'm gonna fuck this bitch up next time I see her.
But wait a minute. So everybody understands who may not have seen it. You could watch it. You could watch it. She was ready to fight. She was dressed. She had her hair in a ponytail.
She was all ready.
But you walk out of a limo in high heels,
putting on
this
a thing,
bikini, this whole. I'm like,
Mind you, I was still ready to fuck her up, but this is what happened. So prior to that episode, for a week they were trying to figure out where we were filming next. So first it was supposed to be that actually wasn't supposed to be there. It was supposed to be another spot. But I was so ticked off with this bitch that I was like, I told production, I was like, I'm gonna fuck her up. They're like, no, you can't do that. Just talk. Da, 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 da. All right, no problem. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm still gonna fuck this girl up, but I'm gonna do it in heels. So I still went there looking cute. And I did try to be nice, figured let's have a talk because you already know that if you can't talk, you can't create a show.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I was like, let's see what she wants. But she just was like so amped, ready to go. So when she came around and she was like, you want to fight? Because she already felt stupid. She was trying to like pin me. Like, first of all, you're never going to pin me on nothing because anything I say behind your back, I say to your face.
Right.
So you're never going to catch me out of pocket and be like, oh, well, she sent this or she's talking shit. No, I didn't talk shit because you already fucking know how I feel,
Yeah.
So when she came at me, she was trying to bring up points that came out of my mouth, which didn't. So when she said something, I was like, no, actually, Renee said that. She called Renee over and Renee was like, yeah, I said it. So she felt stupid. So her next move was like, oh, you want to fight? So once she came near me, I blacked out. Is that what you want to do? I got up, bah, and the next thing you know, I got dragged. Like the security guard just ran me against the freaking wood. I didn't even, and the best part is because it happened so fast. And even after that, I'm like, I wish I kicked that bitch. I didn't even realize until I watched the episode that I did fucking kick her.
Yeah.
Okay, I did kick her. I was like, yeah, because I'm not a kicker. I'm all about my hands. Like, I just
Right,
want to rip your face off. But I was held down hard. Like, it was so bad.
Now hold on. You're a southpaw, right?
Yeah.
So how often does
I'm
that
good with
come?
my right hand, though.
How much of an advantage is that?
Look at
for
them
you
talking about-
in the fights? Because look, a lot of people are looking for the right, and she comes with the left. I mean,
Yeah, but you don't understand. Like, I'm a switch. I can switch up. So
Right.
like, even though I'm a
Yeah, but that's
southpaw,
your
I can
power.
I can still crack you just as hard with my right. It don't
Right.
matter.
Right.
It don't matter.
right. I'm just wondering if you use the left, to throw them off.
I'm like a Tyson. That was a one-shotter right there.
Nice.
Have you made up with these girls since?
No. Once you cross a boundary with me, it's for life.
That's it.
I don't play.
So did they
If you cross a boundary, I don't trust you. Why am I gonna a year down the road, even if you on your knees saying you're sorry? Why would I trust you?
Right.
If you were someone worthy to be in my life, you never cross a boundary to begin
But
with.
you guys are not like, again, I'm
not
treading lightly, but you're in that very small island they call Staten Island, right?
What?
So you guys can run across each other on a regular basis.
And you won't even exist in my world if you were a foot away from me. It don't matter.
Really?
I don't give a shit.
Do you ever run into them at all?
Of course I've run into people I've had beefs with that don't like.
But how about
you don't
anyone from the
exist.
show? You ever run into any of them?
Yeah, I talked to some of them. I've seen a couple of them for sure. But I have no bad blood. I mean, listen, even the ones that I had bad blood with, I don't care for them. I don't care enough to hate you. You're just not my cup of tea. So I don't know you. You don't exist. You can say hello to me. You're not going to get a hello back. I don't care.
Was there jealousy on their end, though? Because they were older women, right? They had, they were a little weathered. Very good-looking women, but very little weathered. And you were this young woman coming onto the show. Was there a little jealousy there? Or?
I mean, there's jealousy everywhere. I'm kind of used to it growing
I
up,
would think you would
whether
be.
being because I'm exotic and different. That's why
Right.
when you mentioned, how was high school? Listen, high school was cool. A lot of people had a lot of mouth behind my back, but it was never to my face. But they
Right.
definitely hated on the fact that I was like the pretty girl that wasn't 100% Italian and the boys liked me. So like I guess I always had to be tough. Well, I grew up in a world where it was like, oh, you want to be tough? I'm going to be tougher.
Right.
You can fight. I'm going to show you who can fight. So it was always like battle of top dog. So I just naturally have this like aggressive, tough.
Has that served you well in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, because I think I know when to use it.
Right.
I don't wake up going, oh, I want to beat you up. I just like, hi, how are you? Oh, wait, did you just try to press me? Now I'm going to beat you up.
You should be a professional wrestler, dude.
You know what? Like I think I could have. I should have probably went that route. But I think in my heyday when like I had an opportunity, the Chinas of the world were controlling wrestling.
Right.
I'm like still a dainty looking girl. I'm very tough internally, but I don't want to look like a man.
Yeah, but you look tough. It's like, you look, you are tough.
But
you
like
look
pretty tough. The girl wrestlers then were more than pretty tough. They were tough looking.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
They were tough on the eyes, for sure.
They were
They
tough
were
on the
like
eyes.
built like
and the
men.
stomach.
They were built like men. Like
Right.
to be honest with you, and I'm saying this, I'm not even being a jerk. I really think they were on steroids too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
sure.
I'm not putting steroids in me.
Right.
Right.
It's not
Right.
happening.
No, they don't want to do
Right.
steroids.
Have you
No.
seen the women wrestling today? You'd be more.
I
than-
feel like this day and age, but I mean, come on, that you have to like not have a life or like any attachments or a family or children or responsibilities, because when you're on the road with them, that's like a 10-month out of the year situation. You don't really have a personal life because your life is your work.
Yeah,
Sure. It's their job isn't easy.
You mentioned that you had some roles. They're doing indentations of your teeth, for God's sakes, with horror, but you weren't into horror.
No.
And then there's the Mob Wives thing, and you get that, but you weren't into the Mob Wives show. Were you into wrestling by any chance?
I
before
did
you-
like wrestling.
All
like
right.
Yeah, I mean, I
All
liked
right.
Hulk Hogan. I liked Ric Flair. I loved Shawn Michaels. That was my
Nice.
world.
Shawn was your favorite?
NWO, even before NWO, Razor Ramon,
Okay.
Did you ever run into these guys?
Yeah, actually, I've met so many of them doing signings.
Scott
Oh,
will
and
try to pick you up because I could see it. Hey yo, I could see it.
Not Scott, but a couple of others.
All right, come on now. You see,
A
now
lot
we're
of
going down. All
others.
right, you got
A
at least.
lot of others. I'm not going to name them.
Come on, at least
Okay.
one.
No, let it do it.
Can I take a guess? Can we do like a pick three?
Oh, let's take guesses. HBK, Shawn Michaels.
If I met him, I'm sure he would. But no,
Oh,
I've
look
never
out.
met him.
Man,
Actually,
man,
that's,
Shawn Michaels
that's,
has got-
that's one wrestler I would love to meet, I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've met a lot of others. But it's kind of crazy because it's like I grew up watching them, and then all of a sudden,
What do you think of the biggest star in the business, The Rock? What's your opinion on The Rock?
he's all right.
He's all right.
He's all
I
right.
don't hate him. Like, he's cool.
He's all
I'm not attracted to him.
Okay, that's
Believe it
what
or
I'm
not.
asking. Okay.
I think he's like a cool dude, but like, he's like too funny to look that tough.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Give me.
Like,
real-
I actually liked Goldberg.
Goldberg.
That's a good-looking guy. I'm
Goldberg's
sorry.
a
Goldberg is a
beast.
good-looking guy. Yes.
He's a big
He's
dude,
a beast.
but
He's
I
beast.
like beasts. I have a
and he's
thing
good
with animals.
looking. He's got that
He's a
chiseled
beast.
face.
And he's like,
All
you know what
right.
it is? like, I don't like funny people.
Oh God,
If
I'm
you're
outta
not
here.
like
I'm
people
done.
say like I'm naturally funny. Like I don't
Right.
try to be a clown, but I can make you
Right.
laugh. But my serious
Right.
makes you laugh.
Right.
If you try to entertain me like a comedian, it's not gonna work. Like I don't like that. So I feel like that's probably why The Rock. I'm like
Okay.
whatever, because he's like he's funny.
Okay.
Or like John Cena even. He's like funny.
Oh,
So it's
all
kind
right.
of, it's fair to say that if like a comedian tries to pick you up, you're like,
Not gonna happen. You can be my
Wow.
friend. I've got a lot of guy friends. But you're my
yeah,
friend.
you like entertain me, clown boy, and move
You're
on.
my friend. We can have a good time. I'll help you pick up a girl or ruin a girl's
She's
life,
gonna
whatever you
help
want.
you.
But I don't want you,
Wow, so
Wow.
skinny guys with baseball caps and sunglasses who are funny are totally the shits. That's classic. Oh my
All right,
God.
with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with Marisa Jade.
Yeah, and I gotta go to the can. See you in a second.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence. Collision Specialists. 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monte and the Pharaoh seen every Thursday, produced out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. And we're here on a special Saturday show with supermodel Marisa Jade. So, Marisa, let me ask you, Karen Gravana. I'm sorry, right? And I'm sorry to say this. But she really does, we were talking about men. She really does not make the correct choices in men. What is your evaluation on that deal right there? Like, I'm not getting that whole deal. And obviously you can see I'm a mob wives mark. I'm just a mark old, but what is her deal, dude?
I'm not quite sure. I think she's a beautiful woman, and she definitely deserves better than what she picks.
Did you ever like want to slap her and go like, what the fuck are you thinking about?
No, Karen's probably one of the only ones I never wanted to slap. I actually adore her. I love her.
Yeah.
I always said I feel like if I grew up, with her, like that would be my homegirl. She's definitely someone you can trust.
Yeah.
She's definitely not a shit talker. I like her. I've never had a bad thing to say about her.
I mean, she's a beautiful woman, pretty intelligent, but I'm like, what are you doing here? I mean, I just saw the new
I
episode.
didn't watch it, but I saw a clip. Is that real? She's dating someone?
She met him in jail.
I don't know. Listen. I have to ask her actually personally about this because I haven't got a chance to watch her show.
Right.
But I always support her, so I do want to start from the episode 1.
All right.
But I do want to say to her, is that scripted? Because I can't imagine her doing that, to be honest.
Well,
Why would-
apparently she's got involved in the law, and she was trying to help her dad.
Yeah.
And then she met this guy,
Okay.
and then she worked the case to get him out of jail. And I'm like,
Oh.
but the other guy she was with on the episodes you were with, that's dudes in the can too, right?
Is he? I don't even know.
But it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Listen, I'm not opposed to men going to jail because apparently my pickings aren't the best either.
I just go to
Is
the
jail like
bathroom.
a prerequisite? Like, did
It
you
doesn't
do jail
scare
time?
us
Okay,
New
you're good.
Yorkers or Staten Island girls, that's for sure.
there you go.
But I mean, listen, it's
Oy.
not like we're picking the bums off the street that rob cars. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? These people are street guys,
You're getting real criminals, the ones that make the money.
Yeah, not like white collar criminals. Like, hey, let me forge a check. Like, we have real ones that use hands and whatever it is. Respectable criminals.
Yeah, like,
you know,
ones that
not
make
the
cash.
ones that are robbing houses or robbing banks.
Hey,
I
look,
mean, I don't.
I told you my daughter's about your age, right? Maybe a little younger.
Yeah.
And I said to her, look, if you're going to get involved with a criminal, at least get involved with a criminal that's going to have a good 12 years of making some real cash where you could travel the world, do a bunch of stuff before he goes to jail for life.
Well, then that would be like a white collar criminal.
Yeah.
That's different. I don't do white collar criminals. Like my criminals are like, oh, they got into a fight and they beat this one to a pulp, and now
Right.
they're doing 4 years because of it. You
Right,
know, like.
Right. And they carted him
It's
away.
more of like
Yeah,
it's
carted.
like it's a street thing. It's not like they picked a random person to beat up on the street. That's like a personal issue.
Right.
You know?
I don't know,
So
man. Why fight? Like, I don't even get that whole thing
because
at this point.
sometimes people need to be taught lessons.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. As much as I would love a harmonious life, just like all of us have witnessed,
Right.
these little computer thugs, you don't think if
Bingo.
you pop them in their mouth they would stop the bullshit? It's buffoonery. They act up, and some people like, okay, ready for this? I came home from the beach last week, driving, whatever. I was on the arm because I don't do traffic, you know, and I happened to just stop to like pull in to the lane, and the car, 2 cars before me in that lane, I guess thought he was brazen, so decided to give the middle finger, like fuck me for I guess driving to the side.
Right.
But like, first of all, I didn't even cut you. I'm behind you and you're acting a fool. So now my boyfriend tries to jump out the car, and I grab him by his shirt, drew him in, and I was like, yo, stop the shit, because he's very aggressive. You breathe on him wrong, there's a problem. You know?
Right.
So I very much protect other people because he's like the Hulk. So because I stopped him, the guy decides to put his hand back out the car and do this. Now I'm pissed. So now I drive up to the car because this guy doesn't even realize I just saved his life.
Right.
I literally saved his life.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? And I protected him without him knowing
Right.
by stopping this monster from
Right.
killing you. And he acted like a bitch. So now I drove up to the car and said, "You're fucking stupid." And I just spit in his face.
Nice.
Left it alone, drove away. Do you know? And I didn't even think nothing of it because I did what I did. They were like this because they couldn't believe I did that. But like, you're better off with a spit in your face versus this kid pummeling
Right.
your face.
Yeah.
Sure.
So now I'm about my business. Didn't even think nothing about it. It's like 20 minutes later, not even. But now I'm at the bridge. But of course, I took my own lane to get to the bridge. So as I'm going on there, they, I guess, decided to jump on the arm because now they felt compelled to race up to me
Right.
just to be like, "Fuck you!" And I'm like, those are the moments where I'm like, why did I stop him from pummeling his face? Because if maybe he cracked him in the mouth, he would never act a fool again. So some people do deserve beatings.
Sure.
You know, they do it to themselves.
See, but look, again, we're a bit older, right? So when we used to fight, it was fight to finish, but not fight to kill somebody, not fight to pummel somebody, right? It was fight to
Then what's the
just...
point of fighting?
I'm with
Well,
I'm
you
with that.
know,
We
you
don't
want to
play
kill
fight. This isn't slap box.
No,
Right.
but I'm not talking about slap
yeah.
boxing. You beat someone until they're done, and they say they're done, and then you move on,
No,
right?
you don't
What-
beat people till that person's able to say, "I'm done." When you're done, it's done.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You got me to a point where I got to raise my hands.
Right.
Now I'm going to make you regret making me raise my hands. And that's it. If you didn't learn your lesson from it, you didn't get beat down enough. I'm sorry.
I'm beginning to wonder why I left Staten Island because that sounds about right to me.
I'm beginning like I'm scared shitless, right? That's what I'm about to say.
Marissa, you mentioned earlier when growing up that being Chinese and Italian was perfectly normal and went back in the family like
Normal for my little circle.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But I guess in school.
But yeah, I was gonna ask. What was that like with the kids in school? Did they give you shit about that? Or?
No, because like the guys liked me because I was cute. Maybe if I wasn't cute, I probably would have been ragged on, but I was cute. So the only people that really ragged on me being Chinese were like jealous girls. But they would never do it to me because they knew I was tough.
Right.
You know? So it was just always like behind the back catty shit. And if one wanted to press me, they wanted 15 girls. They could never do a one-on because they know what I could do.
Right.
So I really didn't have much animosity with people, but when I did, I handled it.
Are you comfortable traveling by yourself? Like I'm almost grateful the pit bull's not with you tonight, but at least I didn't see the pit bull. Maybe I shouldn't say
Might be in the
anything.
car waiting for you.
But are you comfortable? Like, do you feel safe when you're on your own traveling? People could recognize you, stuff like that. Do you feel safe?
I travel a lot on my own, believe it or not.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I've done many flights out of country by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it, but I'm always in good hands wherever I go. You know,
Right.
I'm never solely by myself.
Right.
You're famous. We talked about social media. How do you handle social media? Do you ever get a point where people break you down that you start to cry because of maybe some mean things they may say to you?
Never. In fact, I would say 99% of it's love. It's just that 1% where it's like bullshit. But I laugh at it because like I'm a confident, secure woman.
Do you feel like you ever have to respond to
No,
those
in
negative
fact, put it this
Nellies
way.
or whatever?
99 out of 100 people will tell me I'm beautiful.
Right.
If that one person told me I was ugly, I'd actually laugh and be like, listen, to each his own. Everyone's got an opinion. It doesn't affect me at all, you know? I don't care what others say. I care about how I make myself feel. The only time I've ever been like irate is because I just feel like some people come out of their mouth and are just disrespectful, and it's just like that's when you want to punch them in their face and be like, yo, you got to straight, you know. But I was never, no one's ever broke me, and I won't be broken because the only person that can break me is me.
Wow.
Nice.
Good for you.
Nice. And that one person at 100 is being sent to Dr. Blitzer over in Comac to have their eyes examined.
If I could find him.
Yeah, if they could find.
So we had Gina Marie Zimmerman, and she was on Big Brother. You were on Big Brother.
Completely different show. I was on Celebrity Big Brother.
Right,
Celebrity
right.
Big
But
Brother.
so
That's
my question
different.
is, what was that experience like?
I had a great time on Celebrity Big Brother. I loved it. In fact, I'm very comfortable in my skin, but there's certain things in life that I could be uncomfortable with, like let's say singing or acting out. Like they put me in a scene and they give me a storyline and you just go. So I was with a lot of actors and reality stars in the mansion, and we always, and obviously there's nothing to do but converse with each other, make games, make things work. So they were very like I said, they were actors. They do skits. We would have story time where all of us are sitting down, and let's say you started a story, and next thing you know, like you say whatever, and then it would go to me, and then I would have to keep going with it, and then the next person would go with it. So like the first couple of times it happened, like I was just watching it because I'm not saying I was uncomfortable, but you know, like it's just not me. I'm very authentically me. I like being me. That's why it was very hard to get into the acting world for me, because I don't like to be something I'm not. So the roles I would take were something that were like me, resembled me, something I was comfortable with. You know, I would never do something far-fetched. So being in that mansion, it actually opened me up to do things I was uncomfortable with, and I would jump into like the story time. Next thing you know, I was doing like a skit, and I was doing a scene of Grease, and I was like singing my ass off. Like they didn't air that part because certain reasons, if you're not cleared with certain songs or whatever, you can't air it, but it would have been amazing. But I opened up so much being around those people, and I was so comfortable, and you know, it was a different world, and I absolutely loved it. I was in my own world there too. Come on, you have no phone, you have no connection to the outside world. It's just all of us. You know, all of us in that evil eye freaking torturing us, which I was pretty much tortured. But I loved it. I really had a great time.
They get on your nerves at all? Were you glad to get out of there finally? It sounds like, you know, they got the freaking evil eye looking at you.
No, actually, I took it like a champ. There were times where, like, we didn't eat nothing but, like, beans and rice for 3 days straight. They kept the AC on 60 degrees. We were, like, forced to wake up 6 in the morning, I think, every morning with, like, loud alarms. We had no electricity. I blow dry my hair every day of my life. That was, like, the first time I could never not blow my hair, and it was like almost the entire time I was there. And ever since then, now I'm actually okay with not blowing out my hair. But I think in hardship and tough times I can adjust, and I adjusted with ease, and I was a champ through it all. It was good.
What kind of blow dryer do you use? You have no frizz whatsoever. I mean, I use that thing. I look like
I don't
freaking
have
Carrot
it.
Top.
I have Asian hair. In fact, my hair loves heat.
Nice.
I just can't believe the Pharaoh just asked that question. What kind of blow dryer?
What, a cosmetic
do
question
you
to her?
use?
What's the problem?
Wow.
She's pretty, but she's tough.
Holy
What's the
cow.
difference? You know, I'm trying.
By the way, a lot of fans very impressed by you. Very impressed by you. All right,
There you
so
go.
we're almost out of time. We're going to hit you with something called the Pharaoh's final question, where it just comes straight from the Pharaoh.
Oh, boy.
And
all right,
have at it,
here we
Jimmy.
go. Now, normally, of course, we've got Hall of Fame wrestlers on the show, but of course, today is a much different story. We usually ask the wrestlers, give us your Mount Rushmore. That's 4 faces, of course, based on Mount Rushmore, of in their opinion, the greatest wrestlers ever. Being that you're an actress, give me your Mount Rushmore. Give me your 4 actors or actresses that, to you, are your favorites and are the epitome of your craft?
Oh, actors and actresses that I like.
Yeah. Who's
Well,
your
Tom
Mount Rushmore?
Hardy can be up there.
Tom Hardy. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm totally
you,
drawing a blank.
superhero
with
nerds,
this other
that's
badass.
Bane.
Who's the other badass that actually dates the Victoria's Secret model? Oh, he actually has a London English accent as well. Jason Statham.
Okay. Boy, she's not picking any fat, chubby guys, but all right, that's all right. Go on. All right. John Candy's not on this list, is he? All right.
No. I like John Candy, though.
Isn't he great? Okay, so we got two.
Am I included in one of these?
If you want to put yourself up there, why not?
Absolutely.
I gotta
Why
be
not?
with them. So
Well, that
me,
works. Okay.
And
One more.
my fourth one would be, I don't know. I mean, I actually just like her. So Scarlett Johansson.
Wow. Scarlett
Oh, I
Johansson.
love
I like
Scarlett
her. I
Johansson.
think she's
There we
cute.
go. What a good-looking Mount Rushmore.
Right? We got a pretty.
That's pretty smoking.
That's a pretty good look
Yeah,
at
that-
Mount Rushmore. I got
That
to
works.
agree.
That works.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We're wishing you a safe trip back to Staten Island. Looking to see you on future movies and television. Do you have anything coming up that you'd like to share?
Couple things in the works, and because it's not set in stone, I'd rather not speak about it, but I hope all goes well.
Well, hopefully, maybe one day she'll be able to do a movie with Shawn Michaels.
Shawn
Are you going to
Michaels.
get
Deer
Sean
Hunter
here
2.
for me? I want to see Sean.
Deer
We'll call it Deer Hunter 2.
Deer Hunter 2.
I
Well,
found-
wait. You might have to make sure he gets that wig scent. That's another
Either that or
problem
we'll
now.
call it.
Oy.
We'll call it. I found Jesus and I kill animals for a living.
Oy,
Or Deer Hunter
would you
2.
please
One or the
stop?
other.
Oy.
All right, we'll be back shortly with ECW legend.
That's
Is
right.
That fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Joel Gertner.
Well.
All right. Want to thank you again. And you've been watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte and Pharaoh. This was an incredible interview. We really enjoyed your candidness, and what a great time.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
All right.
Hang in there, folks. We'll be back shortly with Joel Gertner. Thanks, Marissa. You're the best.
Thanks.
Peace.